I would like to demonstrate how I make a slip knot. What I do is I make a loop and I hold the loop between my thumb and index finger in my left hand. With my right hand, I make another loop and I just stick it inside of the loop that is being pinched by the left hand and just pull it through. And then I just pull my slip knot and tighten it up, and then I will insert my hook in the knot and control the tension that way. This is how I do a chain stitch. I control the tension with my left hand, but I hold it between my thumb and index finger. So what I'll do is I have the hook pointing up, and I'll simply just wrap around the hook and pull through. And I'm holding the tail part of my chain on the base of the palm. So I'll start that again. And as the chain grows, it's easier because I have something to hold on to. As a rule of thumb, I always start a project with a hook 1 or 2 sizes than the required hook. For example, if the pattern says to use size G, I will probably make my foundation chain with an H or an I, and this will prevent a tight foundation chain at the beginning of the crocheted project. And I use Susan Bates hooks because they work nicely with the adaptive technique. Now I'm going to show you how I single crochet using the adaptive crochet method. What I'm going to do is I make sure that the hook is pointing up, and I'm going to insert the hook in the second chain, and I'm going to pull on the working yarn, and then you can see that there are 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to lean the hook or brace the hook against my upper body, and I use both hands to complete a stitch. Now I'm going to yarn over with my right hand like this. My thumb in the right hand is going to push the yarn into the hook or feed the hook. My index finger is going to stabilize the hook, and that's in my right hand like this. Now my left hand thumb counts the loops, and then what I'm going to do is take my thumb and index finger and pull the loop over the hook. Now I have 2 loops left. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull the last 2 loops over the hook. And I will do this a couple times, and hopefully you can see this with the camera. I'm inserting my hook in the foundation chain. We have 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over with my right hand. My thumb is pulling the working yarn into the hook. My index finger anchors it. I'm going to take my thumb and index finger in the left hand and pull over the hook. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through or pull over the last 2 loops on the hook. I'll do a couple more stitches for you. Oops. I I don't know about you, but I tend to, if I'm working on a stitch throughout an entire Afghan, my hands go in automatic pilot. I tend to think of double crochet if I worked on a double crochet project. And then when I have to switch to a single crochet, my hands don't think, they just do it. So I'm doing, I'll pull my working yarn, and you can see that the single crochet stitches are coming out evenly. Now I'm going to do a double crochet. So I'm going to insert my crochet hook into the 4th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, one thing I have to yarn over. That's really important. Because I was doing single crochets in the last segment, my hands are thinking in single crochet mode. So now I have 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to insert the hook into my foundation chain. I'm going to pull on the working yarn to make sure that my tension is not too loose. I'm going to yarn over. So now we have 3 loops. Yarn over. I'm going to pull through the first loop, or pull the first loop over the hook. Now there are 3 loops left. I'm going to yarn over and pull over 2, yarn over, pull over 2. It's the same method as traditional crocheting. The stitches are the same, but the technique is different. So I will do a couple of double crochets for you. And you can see my fingers working. When I do it in slow motion, I have to think. But when I do it quickly, I don't have to think because my fingers are doing it. My fingers have minds of their own and they just work without thought. So, and I'll do one more double crochet so you can see that. As I crochet, I'm seeing with my fingertips. I'll pull my working yarn out and you can see that I have double crochets and the tension is even. Now I'm going to demonstrate a triple crochet. So I'm going to yarn over twice, 1, 2, and then I'm going to insert in the 5th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like this, to make sure nothing's turned. Okay, then I'm going to work the stitches off, or work the loops off the hook, and same procedure, same motions. But as you well know, when you yarn over before inserting the hook in your work, oops, I didn't count here, it makes the stitches taller. And you can see that the taller stitches are forming. Now, what I like to do is, when I'm working a single crochet, the single crochet takes 2 movements. A double crochet takes 3 movements, and a triple crochet takes 4 movements. And what I mean is, I'm going to yarn over twice for the triple. This is 1 movement, 2, 3, and it's going to slip, and 4. And I'll do that again and make sure that I anchor my hook. And I'm going to yarn. I yarned over once. I have to do it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the triple. And the procedure is the same for doing any types of stitches, whether it's popcorn stitches or bobble stitches or half double or cross stitches. It's the same type of technique. So I have the triple crochets for you to see, and now I will be showing you an afghan that I'm working on so you can actually see me work a project. This pattern is a lark's head pattern, or the lark's head stitch, and I'm using up leftover yarns from previous afghans, and it's all double crochets and one long double crochet. So I have a chain one right here. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, and I'm going to work into these 3 double crochets. So you can see me working. Now I'm starting on the next double crochet of the 3 double crochet group, and it goes rather quickly. As you can see my fingers. It's actually easier, there's my 3 double crochets. It's actually easier to work a project when you have it started. You have something to hold on to for stability. But when you're first starting something, you don't have anything to grab onto, and your hook may slip. So I'm doing the next double crochet hook, or double crochet hook, double crochet stitch. Three, to pull more yarn, chain one, insert my hook, and I'm counting the movements for each stitch to make sure I complete each stitch, and my left hand thumb is counting the loops on the crochet hook. And that's what it looks like when I am crocheting an actual project.